welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving straight into something pretty huge. Google's really speeding up its move to be an AI-first company. And we're not just talking scattered AI features here. The information we've looked at, it points to a really fundamental AI-driven redesign across, well, almost everything they offer.
Exactly. What really struck me was just the sheer scope of it all. We're seeing AI pop up, not just in search, obviously, but woven really deep into productivity tools, even how developers actually build stuff. Google I/O 2025 felt like a real statement of intent.
Absolutely. And Sundar Pichai himself says something that highlights the scale, right? He said, decades of research are now becoming reality for people all over the world.
It's a big claim.
It is. But the announcements, they definitely suggest they're trying to deliver on that promise. So our mission today is pretty clear. Let's figure out exactly how these AI advancements are going to fundamentally change how you get information, how you work, and maybe even how tech gets created.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with Google Search. That's something most of us use, well, every day.
Yeah, and what's fascinating there is the shift. They're calling it an end-to-end AI search experience. This isn't just, tweaking things under the hood. It feels like a complete rethink of how we even interact with search. This new AI mode seems central to that.
Right, AI mode. That sounds quite different from just typing in a search box. Our sources are describing it as more conversational, almost like talking to an expert, especially for those really tricky, longer questions we sometimes have.
And it's running on a custom version of their Gemini 2.5 model, supposedly has advanced reasoning, handles different kinds of infotext, images, that sort of thing.
And importantly, this isn't some beta feature you have to sign up for in labs, right?
No, apparently rolling out straight away to all US users, no opt-in needed. That immediate availability, it really signals, this is going to be core to search going forward.
Okay.
They also mentioned something called a query fan-out technique.
Fan-out. What's that about?
Think of it like the AI. Instead of just asking one expert, it checks with loads of different sources online to get a really full picture, a much deeper dive into the web for answers.
Ah, I see. So it's not just skimming the top results.
Yeah.
The AI is digging deeper, proactively, to build a more complete understanding. Makes sense. Now, we've already seen AI overviews, those summaries that pop up at the top.
Yeah, the conversational ones.
Seems like they're becoming even more important.
They really are. And the scale is pretty impressive. Something like 1.5 billion people are already using them. And what's interesting is how people are changing their searches. They're typing in longer, more complex questions. It suggests people are getting more confident that the AI can actually handle that nuance.
But that shift, it does raise some big questions, doesn't it? Our sources mentioned the potential impact, maybe disruption for websites, this whole search zero idea.
Yes, search zero.
And fewer clicks actually going through to the websites themselves. That feels significant.
It really is. I mean, if the AI gives you a great comprehensive answer right there in the result, why click through?
Yeah.
So yeah, content creators, publishers who depend on that traffic, they're understandably concerned. It definitely makes you wonder how the whole online content world might need to adapt.
Absolutely. The big unknown.
Yeah.
Now, pushing search even further, they've introduced deep search within this AI mode. This sounds like it could be a game changer for anyone doing serious research.
The efficiency they're describing is kind of staggering, conducting hundreds of searches, generating fully cited expert-level reports in minutes.
Wow.
That's a huge leap for doing really in-depth work. It just shows the power of these models to synthesize massive amounts of information and quickly.
And then there's Search Live that integrates the real-time visual stuff from Project Astra. That sounds incredibly useful for just everyday things, identifying something, figuring out how to fix something just by pointing your phone at it.
Exactly. The examples they gave, like getting help with a DIY project or even homework, help just through the camera, it shows how practical that could be. It takes search beyond just typing words.
Yeah, visual understanding right there.
Yeah.
But maybe one of the biggest changes is what they're calling agentic capabilities in search. So the AI doesn't just find information, it can actually do things for you.
That's the core idea. It's a fundamental shift. The examples, like buying concert tickets or finding an apartment directly through search.
Right inside search.
Yeah. It turns search from just a place you find stuff into, well, an assistant that actually helps you get things done. It really makes you think, how will this change what we even expect a search engine to do for us?
It's a profound shift, definitely. How we might interact with the whole internet, really. Okay, let's turn to what's powering a lot of this. The Gemini ecosystem. Sounds like Google's rolling out a new strategy here with different tiers of models.
Yes, and first things first for developers, the old PaulM API is being deprecated. There's a migration deadline, August 15th, 2024. So going forward, it's all with the Gemini family.
The Gemini family. And within that, we've got the 2.5 series.
Yeah.
Looks like three main ones, Pro, Flash, and one called DeepThink. Let's start with Gemini 2.5 Pro.
Okay, so Pro is positioned as their top model. Most intelligent, apparently leading on various benchmarks. The really big number is the context window, 1 million tokens.
A million tokens. What does that mean in practice?
Think of it like it's short-term memory. It can process and understand a huge amount of information at once, entire books, long videos, complex documents, and they mentioned integrating it with LearnLM, which points towards using it for education too. It feels like they're aiming straight at the top-tier models from competitors here.
Going for the lead in complex reasoning tasks. Okay. Then there's this DeepThink mode. It's experimental, built on Pro.
Yeah, it sounds like they're pushing the boundaries of reasoning with this one, especially for complex stuff like advanced math or coding. What seems interesting is how it apparently considers multiple different approaches, multiple hypotheses to solve really hard problems. The fact it's getting impressive benchmark scores suggests it's a real step up in handling that kind of complex thinking.
Okay, pushing the envelope there. And then on the other side, we have Gemini 2.5 Flash. Sounds like this one's all about efficiency.
Exactly. Flash is the workhorse, optimized for speed, low cost. They're saying it uses language tokens about 20-30% more efficiently. That makes it really appealing for apps where you need quick answers and don't want to spend a lot on processing.
Makes sense for high-volume tasks.
Yeah. And it's already available in the Gemini app with a public preview coming for developers, so it's clearly a big part of their plan for getting AI into more places.
So it's clear strategy then. Pro and DeepThink for the really heavy lifting, the complex tasks.
Right.
And Flash for the faster, leaner, everyday applications.
That seems to be the segmentation. Intelligence versus efficiency.
Got it. Now, the Gemini application itself, the app people use, that's also getting upgrades and seems to have a lot of users already.
Yeah, over 400 million monthly active users. That's a pretty substantial base. And Gemini Live, that new feature with camera and screen sharing, it feels like a very natural step towards more intuitive, real-time help.
Like having a conversation where you can show what you're talking about.
Exactly. And apparently, conversations using it are 5 times longer than just typing back and forth. That suggests people are really engaging with it.
And it's free on Android and iOS.
Free, yeah. And they plan to integrate it into other Google stuff like Maps and Calendar later on.
That integration seems key, spreading it across their ecosystem.
Definitely.
We're also seeing progress in generative media within the Gemini app. Imagen 4 for images, VO3 for video.
Right. Imagen 4 is supposed to be better quality, better at rendering text and images, faster, more photorealistic, the usual upgrades. VO3, though, that's quite interesting. It's the first model they have that natively supports audio in the videos it generates.
Audio, like sound effects and...
Sound effects, background noise, even dialogue, apparently. That's a pretty big leap for making AI video feel more real, more immersive.
Okay, that is a big step. But it's a premium feature for now.
Yeah, initially for Google AI Ultra subscribers in the US. So it's positioned as a high-end capability for those who really need advanced video generation.
Right. And beyond just the main app, there seems to be a push for more personalized AI features. This agent mode sounds ambitious.
Agent mode, yeah. Still experimental, they say. But it hints at a future where the AI can handle more complex, multi-step things for you, like that apartment hunting example they used.
Takes initiative.
Kind of. And things like personalized smart replies in Gmail, using your past emails for context, or the deep research feature that generates reports from your own stuff in Drive and Gmail.
Pulling from your personal data.
Right. It all points towards a more tailored, integrated AI. Oh, and being able to ask Gemini questions, right, while you're browsing in Chrome. That seems super convenient.
It really does feel like AI is becoming less like a tool you actively open and more like an assistant that's just there in the background helping out in your workflow.
Ambient intelligence, I think, is the term they use.
Right. And that leads us perfectly into Google Workspace.
Yeah.
How's AI showing up there?
Well, that ambient intelligence idea is central. The goal seems to be integrating AI smoothly into the tools you already use. Gmail, Docs, Meet without it feeling clunky or getting in the way. Things like the side panels, the help me write features. Those are practical examples. Assistance right where you need it.
And the specific integrations look pretty broad. Gmail helping draft, reply, summarize emails.
Yep. Docs helping with writing, making images, summarizing long documents, even transcribing meetings.
Reading transcription, that's useful.
Very. Meet also gets automated notes, plus studio enhancements to make you look and sound better, and translated captions in real time.
Wow. Okay. What about Sheets and Slides?
Sheets gets better smart fill suggestions and help from the side panel. Drive can analyze PDFs better. Slides can generate images, remove backgrounds. Even Google Vids, their newer video tool, gets full access to the AI features. It really seems to touch almost every part of the workspace suite.
It's quite comprehensive. And we shouldn't forget Notebook LM. That sounds like a serious research tool.
Yeah, Notebook LM is positioned as your personal AI research assistant. It can summarize documents you upload, find connections between different sources, and it even offers audio overviews, which sounds like a neat way to consume information. Plus, there's a Notebook LM Plus tier now, suggesting more advanced features for paying users.
So AI isn't just changing search and chat. It's really digging into how we actually work, collaborate, do research. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. What about developers? How is AI changing software development and the infrastructure behind it all?
This area feels like it's undergoing a massive transformation. There's a big push towards what they call agentic coding and building entire AI-powered apps. AI First Colab, for instance, reimagined, powered by that efficient Gemini 2.5 Flash model. It sounds less like a tool and more like an AI coding partner.
A partner? How so?
Well, they're saying it understands your code, your actions, even your intentions, and it can then autonomously make plans, find and fix errors, even transform code from one language to another.
Whoa, like an AI pair programmer almost.
Kind of, yeah. And then there's Gemini Code Assist, a free AI coding helper for individuals, plus a code review agent for GitHub. That makes these AI tools much more accessible.
Free is good.
And they're planning to expand the context window to 2 million tokens soon. That'll be huge for working with really big, complex code bases.
2 million tokens.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Firebase Studio?
That's a new cloud-based AI workspace specifically for building full-stack AI apps. They mentioned converting Figma designs directly into working apps and automatically setting up the back-end resources needed. That could dramatically speed up development.
Figma to app. That's interesting.
And Jules, that's an asynchronous coding agent. Sounds like it's designed to handle the more tedious parts of development.
Like what?
Managing big backlogs, juggling multiple coding tasks, even developing new features, all integrated with GitHub. The phrase they kept using, agentic future, really seems to capture this idea of AI taking on more independent, proactive roles in how software gets built.
It definitely feels like we're on the cusp of something new in software creation. And it's not just coding tools, right? There are new generative media models and infrastructure updates too.
Yeah, a whole slew of new models. Gemma 3N looks interesting, fast, efficient, open source, multimodal, so audio, text, image, video, and designed for running on devices.
On-device AI, right?
Gemini Diffusion promises much faster text generation. Lyria Real-Time is experimental, but exploring interactive music generation. That sounds pretty cool.
Interactive music.
And then more specialized ones. Magemma for medical text and images, and an upcoming Sign Gemma for translating American Sign Language to English. It shows they're applying AI to a really wide range of problems.
Okay, and on the hardware and infrastructure side?
Ironwood is their latest TPU tensor processing unit, their custom AI chip, supposedly their most powerful and energy efficient yet. And Agent to Agent, or A2A. That's a new open protocol designed to let different AI agents talk to each other, collaborate. That could lead to much more complex, interconnected AI systems down the line.
Interesting. A standard for AI collaboration.
Yeah. And Google AI Studio is getting updated too, using the new Gemini models, integrating the new generative media models, adding a code editor, making it easier for developers to build stuff.
And finally, new APIs. What capabilities are they adding?
Several key ones. A native audio output and live API that allows for more natural spoken interactions in apps, maybe even proactive audio. Asynchronous function calling basically lets apps do background tasks more smoothly without freezing up the user interface.
Okay, that's useful.
The Computer Use API linked to Project Mariner. That's really intriguing. It could let apps actually browse the web or use other software tools on the computer.
Apps using other apps.
Potentially, yeah. And a URL context API to easily grab and understand content from web pages.
It's a very comprehensive set of tools, really empowering developers to build pretty advanced AI applications.
Okay, let's shift focus one more time. How is AI being integrated onto our phones with Android and into something like Google Maps?
The push for on-device AI in Android is significant. Using Gemini Nano and these GenAI APIs allows for powerful features, summarization, image descriptions to run right on the phone, even offline, which is great for privacy, speed, and not using up your data plan.
Privacy and latency, yeah.
Yeah.
Big benefits. Exactly. And they're still supporting traditional machine learning with things like MLKit and Literati. Plus, AI help is being built into Android Studio for the developers creating these mobile apps.
And Google Maps.
Yeah.
It already has so much data.
An incredible amount. Over 250 million places, Street View imagery. It's a massive advantage. AI is crucial for just keeping all that data accurate and up to date. And they're offering geospatial analytics tools in BigQuery, things like Imagery Insights, Earth Engine for analyzing that data.
So businesses can use that data too.
Right. And they're grounding the Gemini models with real-world maps data in Vertex AI, their cloud AI platform. Plus, introducing Gemini AI Inspiration in Maps itself for AI-driven suggestions and exploration ideas.
So AI is getting baked into not just the cloud, but our devices, our navigation, pretty much everywhere. Let's zoom out then. What are the big strategic implications here? The market outlook?
Well, for users, the experience is clearly shifting. More conversational, more direct answers, using multiple types of info, multimodal. Strategically, this looks like Google's comprehensive answer to competitors like OpenAI. They're leveraging their huge user base and how integrated their products are as major strengths.
Makes sense. How do they plan to make money from all this AI investment, though? Is it just ads?
It seems like they're diversifying, introducing premium AI subscription tiers, Google AI Ultra, AI Pro. That's a clear sign.
So paying for more advanced AI.
Exactly. And offering free access for college students seems like a smart long-term play to get future professionals used to their AI tools.
Building loyalty early. And what about developers adopting this? Is Gemini catching on?
The numbers suggest it is. They reported growth to over 7 million developers building with Gemini. That's supposedly a 5-fold increase year over year.
5-fold. Wow.
Yeah, it points to a pretty vibrant and rapidly growing ecosystem embracing these new tools.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels like Google is really undergoing a profound shift, moving from just being the search company to being an AI-first intelligence and action engine.
That sums it up well. The key themes are more natural interactions, multimodal capabilities using text, image, voice, video, and this increasing agency where the AI does things for you. There's clearly a massive ongoing investment to try and lead in AI foundational models, specific solutions, the infrastructure.
But it's not all smooth sailing.
Right.
There are challenges. Competition is fierce. The tech is evolving so fast.
Absolutely. They face challenges, navigating ethical issues, the impact on web publishers we discussed, intense competition. It's complex. But their strategy seems clear. Innovate aggressively, build out this deeply integrated ecosystem, and offer both broad access and premium tiers for power users.
Right. So here's a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. As AI gets more and more agency in the tools we use every single day, how is that going to change not just how we interact with technology, but maybe our own roles in those interactions? Are we becoming orchestrators of AI, collaborators with it, or maybe something entirely new? It's definitely something to think about in this landscape that's changing so fast. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.